going to make some planner clips using our Hip Kit Club September kits. And so I do have a class at Big Picture Classes that walks you through all kinds of different planner clips. It's actually called planner clips, but today we're just going to do 4, and I'm just going to show you how I've done them. So we're going to start with these, they're basically brads without the brad bit, and I'm going to show you a really simple way. The thing with planner clips is that you want the back to look as good as the front. So we're just going to take, I'm going to take this little cute little dog and these flowers, and I'm just going to glue them back to back. And I've got my glue of choice, which is a hot glue gun. You can use whatever strong glue that you're used to. The biggest part, the hardest part really, it's not hard, but is making sure that the clip is going to be straight. So you want to make sure that you have your clip on the bottom, and then you can put your hot glue on. But then when you put the next one on, you have to make sure that that's straight as well. Get that really good. See, now I moved it and it's not in the right spot. So you want it straight, but then you also want it centered in the back. And another tip is to make sure that these little prongs don't go up behind your knob. You want them to be free below the actual decorative part, because then it'll work better when you put it on your page. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of hot glue because there's already some adhesive on here. And I'm not really too hard on my clips, but if your clips go with you wherever you go, you may want to put a little bit stronger glue, but mine don't take a lot of, they kind of tend to stay home, so they don't take much of a beating. So that's all there is to it. It's done. There you go. Clip number 1. So let's put that here. Okay, we're going to use these again, and we're going to take these buttons. So if you were to put 2 of these buttons, let me take this out of here. If you were to use 2 of these buttons back to back, you can see they're pretty thick, and it would just make like this really fat clip, which isn't, for me, isn't ideal. But what you could do is to just take off, you take this foam adhesive right off of there, and then put 2 back to back. But you can also see it's a bit rounded, so they're going to kind of round away from each other. So for me, it's still too thick, but you can totally glue 2 of those back together like we did with these. Or what I'm going to do is to use one of these and one of these. So I'm going to, what I did was I took my little craft knife and very carefully, I sort of dug out a little, like a trench. Look, there's a piece of it. It doesn't have to be pretty because it's going to be covered up. So this way your clip slides right in. Make sure that it's not laying like, hold on, because the back is rounded, make sure your clip is not doing this. You want your clip to lay flat against, and even if it's coming off of up here, see how it's not really touching? That's okay, but you just don't want it to go like this, because then you're, one second with my finger, then it won't really stay flat in your planner. So you want to pick one that sort of hides all that in the back. This one would probably be good, but it's a little too small. The heart would go with the X and O, but it's a bit small, so we're going to go with one of these ones. Let's take the pink one. So I do have adhesive here. I have adhesive here, so that'll probably be enough for me. And since hot glue is thick, I'm not going to put it where the foam is. I'm just going to put it where the clip is. Sort of keep the clip in place, and then to keep it attached to this little bratty thing. There. So you can see it is still thick. Well, it's still thick, but it's not as thick as if you had 2 of those big buttons to pull off the hot glue strings. So that's clip number 2. Next up, let's start with this bow. Now this, we're going to use this one. And this also has the foam adhesive. I'm going to take this right off there because it's going to make it way too fat. So, whoops, get rid of that. And I'm going to use an enamel dot. And since there's no adhesive on this side, only adhesive here, I'm going to use glue again. And since there's gold glitter on the bottom, I'm going to use like a bronzy, whatever, color clip. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to get ready because I find that this dries really fast. So I'm just going to have the enamel dot in my hand. And I'm going to put the glue on the clip. Then go quick. There. So the back doesn't actually look like the front. It's not like you can tell it's the back, but at the same time it looks neat, except for the strings, which we're going to pull off. I'll wait till they dry a little bit. And then you just pull those strings off and they're fine. And then it'll slip down your page and you'll have like the tails of the bow will come down your page and the bow part will stick up. And then last but not least, I did make this unicorn clip. So I've got strings all over my hands. I made this unicorn clip, which I absolutely adore. And this came from this chipboard sheet. And I was going to do the mermaid, but then I thought I saw this little doll, which is, oops, her. And she just, I don't know, she's just too cute. So I decided to do her. So what you need to do is to take a piece of pattern paper for the back. You can use, since this chipboard is pretty thick, but if you can tell, it gets kind of bumpy. Let me move my fingers out of the way so you can actually see this. Look, I've got strings everywhere. You can see that the paper clip is a little bumpy. If that bothers you, then get a piece of like a thin cardstock or cereal box, that kind of thickness, so you won't get the bumps. But because this chipboard is pretty thick, it's pretty solid, it's not going to go anywhere. So for me, the bumps don't really bother me that much. It could be prettier, but it's the back and this guy's pretty strong, so I'm going to leave him like that. So we're going to take our girl, and what I did was, okay, so you want to place her upside down, because if you place her right side up, she's going to stick to the paper and then you won't be able to unstick her to put the paper clip in. So you're going to take what I did, because I suck at, you can use a craft knife and just cut around her, but I really suck at that. So what I did was I took a lead pencil and I put the lead out kind of far so that I could get my pencil in down around all these little detailed, because it's, you can see, where am I here? You can see it's pretty thick, the cardstock, so you want to be able, the chipboard, so you want to be able to get in. So the pencil was a good idea. So then I cut her out. I've already done that, and she's here. So what I'm going to do is, since it's kind of delicate to line these pieces up, I'm going to line everything up except for the feet. So that's where I'm going to put the clip. So I don't have to try to do it fast and have the hot glue dry in the meantime. So just everything but her feet. And then all I need to do is put a little bit of hot glue on her legs. Put the clip in quickly, not making sure that the ends don't go up underneath the paper, because then they won't be able to move as freely. They'll be stuck and you won't be able to open it. And I'm just squeezing. A little bit of glue's come out, but that's okay. I can get that later. I just want to make sure it stays. And then, yeah, see, there's some glue. And you can see there's a little bit of overhang, and I find that happens often for me. So I'll just go in later with a pair of scissors and trim that off. But I think that's pretty stinking cute. So there you have it, these 4 paper clips, plus our unicorn. And a lot of fun, super simple, really quick, and you have some pretty cool paper clips for your planner. So if you want to make more clips, check out my class at Big Picture Classes. The link will be below. There are also links for the kits that you can find, the products that I used from the Hip Kit Club. So there you go. Have a happy day and have fun planning. Talk to you soon.